As a member of the Judiciary Committee, I now ask that we immediately begin impeachment hearings. The issue at hand are far too serious to ignore. Dick Cheney faces credible allegations of abuse of power that, if proven, may well constitute high crimes and misdemeanors. Did the Vice President manipulate intelligence to push this nation into war based on false pretense? Did the Vice President unmask a covert CIA agent for political purposes? Did the Vice President order the illegal surveillance of Americans and the illegal use of torture? These questions must be answered. Just recently, former White House Press Secretary Scott McClellan revealed that the Vice President and his staff purposefully gave him false information to report to the American people, a clear obstruction of justice. This administration has undermined the checks and balances of our government by brazenly ignoring congressional subpoenas and recklessly claiming executive privilege. Impeachment hearings are the only way to force the Bush administration to answer questions and tell the truth. Congress must take the first step by enforcing the subpoenas against Harriet Miers and the President's Chief of Staff and hold them in contempt of Congress. In this time, at this moment, Congress must stand for the truth. If we fail to act, history may well judge us complicit in the alleged crimes of Vice President Cheney. Madam Speaker, a growing chorus of Americans are calling for accountability. The response from Congress thus far has been silence and denial. Not long ago,
toward the Vice President.
Not long ago, I launched a website in support of my call for hearings. The people responded en masse. After only 4 weeks, over 189,000 Americans have registered their support for hearings. Names I now hold in my hand. These frustrated and patriotic Americans come from all 50 states and share one common goal: accountability for the Bush-Cheney administration and a rebirth of Congress as an equal branch of government. So many have been working on this cause before me. Groups like Democrats.com, AfterDowningstreet.org, Code Pink, ImpeachBush.org, Impeach for Peace, and others. All told, there have been well over 1 million signatures urging us to take action. Tomorrow, I will deliver these names to my colleagues on the Judiciary Committee with a letter to my friend Chairman Conyers calling for hearings. I will ask my colleagues to sign this letter. In addition, tomorrow, and continuing every day for months, I will publish in the Congressional Record several thousand names of supporters who signed up. History demands that we take action because the case against Vice President Cheney is far stronger than the illegalities surrounding Watergate. When compared to the partisan and petty allegations made against President Clinton by Ken Starr and the GOP Congress, the true gravity of the case against the Vice President appears in its devastating clarity. In fact, in the history of our nation, we have never encountered a moment where the actions of a president or a vice president have more strongly demanded the use of the power of impeachment. I have heard the arguments that it's too late, that we have run out of time, and that we don't have the votes. While today there may not be enough votes to impeach, it's premature to think that such support would not exist after hearings. Let us remember that it wasn't until after hearings began that the Watergate tapes emerged. Who knows what facts will come forth when the full truth is told in this case? Arguing that it is too late signals to future administrations.
Your time has expired.
That in the waning months in office, they're immune from constitutional accountability. Hold hearings which will put the evidence on the table, and the evidence alone must determine the outcome. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Mr. Jones of North Carolina.
and that we will in fact find weapons or evidence of weapons programs that are conclusive.
I don't think we'll discover anything myself.
It appears that there were not weapons of mass destruction there.
You said you knew where they were.
I did not.
We know where they are. They're in the area around Tikrit and Baghdad and east, west, south, and north.
Well, first of all, I haven't lied.
There are a lot of people who lie and get away with it.
Talking about lies and your allegation that there was bulletproof evidence of ties between Al-Qaeda and Iraq. Was that a lie?
Intelligence gathered by this and other governments leaves no doubt that the Iraqi regime continues to possess and conceal some of the most lethal weapons ever devised.
Our people are going to find out the truth, and the truth will say that this intelligence is good intelligence. No doubt in my mind.
I don't know anybody that I can think of who has contended that the Iraqis had nuclear weapons.
And we believe he has, in fact, reconstituted nuclear weapons.
Saddam Hussein is determined to get his hands on a nuclear bomb.
We cannot wait for the final proof. He's got him. He's got him. The smoking gun. He's got him. It could come in the form of a mushroom cloud.
Colin Powell didn't lie.
My colleagues, every statement I make today is backed up by sources, solid sources. These are not assertions. What we're giving you are facts and conclusions based on solid intelligence.
He has not developed any significant capability with respect to weapons of mass destruction. He is unable to project conventional power against his neighbors.
Our people are going to find out the truth.
I have not suggested there's a connection between Iraq and 9/11.
You have said in the past that it was, quote, pretty well confirmed.
No, I never said that.
Okay. I
never
think
said
that is...
That's absolutely not. What I said was, it's been pretty well confirmed that he did go to Prague and he did meet with a senior official of the Iraqi intelligence service.
Saddam Hussein aids and protects terrorists, including members of Al-Qaeda. Secretly and without fingerprints, he could provide one of his hidden weapons to terrorists or help them develop their own. What did Iraq have to do with what?
The attack on the World Trade Center.
Nothing.
He said there were three main reasons for going to war in Iraq. Weapons of mass destruction.
Saddam Hussein has gone to elaborate lengths, spent enormous sums, taken great risks to build and keep weapons of mass destruction.
The claim that Iraq was sponsoring terrorists who had attacked us on 9/11.
Before September the 11th, many in the world believed that Saddam Hussein could be contained.
And that Iraq had purchased nuclear materials from Nigeria.
The regime is seeking a nuclear bomb.
All three of those turned out to be false.
First, just if I might correct a misperception, I don't think we ever said, at least I know I didn't say, that there was a direct connection between September the 11th and Saddam Hussein.
Who does the president think he's effing kidding?
Of course, it was information that was mistaken.
There are a lot of people who lie and get away with it.
Those weapons of mass destruction got to be somewhere. Nope, no weapons over there.
Kill lie! Stop the lie! Stop the lie!